Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutty, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Wednesday night AMA. We are live and rolling. And I am rocking some Kelly Green. Big shout out to my good friend Joshua Hudson over at Club Fantasy. Go check him out. He paid up on a terrible bet he made. I don't know how he bets against Jalen Hurts, but here we are. Kelly Green, Adam, looking fresh. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Don't trust you, motherfucker. You better run.
He's got soundboard. You just go talking soundboard all night. I love it.
Nah, just give a little Morgan Freeman preview. You know, South Harmon, don't trust you. You're gonna pay up. That's a nice winner, buddy. That's a real nice winner, ain't it? Gotta feel good. Winter. I'm saying winter. It sounds a little bit like winter. Winter's coming. It's come early for Joshua Hudson. You know.
It did. He paid up though on time.
You gotta respect though.
Know it was here.
Yeah, you gotta respect that, right?
DMs today, like, hey, go check your mailbox, you fat fuck. He didn't actually say that. He's too sweet to say that, but would have been cooler.
Listen. You got to know how people are and their personality. His personality, he's a sweetheart. I love the guy, but he thought it. He just didn't say it. You know, and that's okay. I respect him for it too, right? Honestly, I love it, if you send that to, by the way, the Kelly Green is just, man. I wish I would have known. We could have color coordinated. I could have still can go
quads.
Yeah, I would have went Saquon on it. You know, like that Kelly Green jersey, man, is just it hits different. You know.
My bad. I'll coordinate next time. Hope everybody's doing well out there.
That's good.
I don't know if anybody got to check out the 4D episode that dropped today, but go check it out wherever you get your podcasts. You know, maybe after the show, maybe tomorrow, some listening. Adam, it's getting wild in these fucking Dynasty streets. We got terrible takes left and right.
I got the laptop back. I was actually beginning to believe it was lost, buddy. They found it.
They found it. Where was it? Bangladesh?
Colorado. That's where headquarters is. So they, instead of keeping it in Cleveland, it goes to they ship everything they don't know where the hell it's supposed to be to Colorado, and then that's where the hell they figured it out. So it took a while.
Tell me logistically wise how that makes sense.
Oh, buddy, it's Frontier Airlines. That's making sense is not exactly what I would say they do. Making sense. Actually, I should take them. Making sense is what they do. Actually, $19 flights. That's how you get those. You know.
$19 flights. Is it really that cheap?
I mean, that's as cheap as you can get it. You have to do it. But yeah, man, whether it's on South Harmon or BDG, that's company money, and we are trying to find those $19 flights. So
trying to find them. I love it. $19 flights. I didn't know they went that cheap, man. Do you gotta pay extra to use the shitter?
You would be surprised. I mean, to be honest with you, buddy, you know how bad I'm gonna have to go to use the shitter on the airplane. Like we're gonna have had some bad things happen. I mean, I'm not above it. I'll do it. I have done it, but it's not. I don't look forward to getting in that cramped little area and trying to unclench the cheeks.
We're cramped in that area for different reasons. One, you're a giant with your height. Me, I'm a giant in the waistline department. So yeah. I feel your pain. Mine's just horizontal. Yours happens to be vertically.
But they will, believe it or not, they will give you that. For $19, you don't get anything else, though, buddy. No water even. Like, bring your own. You just buckle up.
BYOW.
But for that, to tell you the truth, Mike, I would have, if I wouldn't have got this laptop back, I would have been like, man, I'm out. Like, F all that. So
we're done.
Not quite 3 weeks. It's approaching 3 weeks later, though. I'm like, I was getting ready to just move on. But here we go. We're back. We're back.
Back in business, man. How you doing? How you been? You got your laptop?
Good. I got that. I'm good, man. Got the in-laws here. Mike, let me just tell you. I've been, as a father, so I've been sleeping in the spare room, which has been amazing because my daughter, newborn she's almost 4 months now. So, but she's up every hour and a half, right? So you clean out that room, you get your in-laws in there, you go to the room with mom and the kid. And buddy, I'm telling you right now, boss, sleep is at, I could sleep right now. I could let you be the Morgan Freeman to me and just talk. I would just sleep right now, dude. I'm just exhausted. Outside of being exhausted though, I'm good, man. I got no complaints in the world, How about you?
You want me to sing you Twinkle Twinkle?
Would you? I've been actually doing a lot of bedtime reading. All of a sudden, she has no idea what the words are, Aubrey, my oldest, but she wants me to read her every book, so I just keep doing it, and we just go off the pictures,
You hit it with that Moneybag Yo version, Gotta give him that.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you keep drinking so that you give me the real one on the way out.
I got
right?
you.
How about that? Can you give me that? Will you give me that?
Yeah. I got you.
Big bet.
What about this thumbnail though, man? Dope as shit. Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, man.
Gibbs and Monty.
Let me ask you. First of all, what is your take on the nickname? Let's start with that.
Dope, man. They went off script, like everybody got these vanilla ass nicknames. I think I saw this a couple years ago where people are talking about like NBA nicknames.
Yeah.
It's like KD, AD, like this kind of shit. Just using the first initial and the last initial.
Is that that's not a nickname, Mike. That's a
that's bullshit. That's what that is.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that, by the way.
Like Garrett Wilson, G-Dub. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's not a good nickname. Sonic and Knuckles, man. You got to put that shit up there for creativity. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it fits their styles, right?
Man, listen, buddy, I've been a little bit in the lab with the laptop back, and the sounder's not working, though. We got the rings going, but...
That's all right. You got the rings. The rings are good. They look like cock rings.
I figured it wouldn't take long for you to make a PG movie or PG-13, whatever the hell it is, quickly. Not that, but I tell you what, you're not wrong. I had the same thought when I was taking it off the green screen and putting it onto the, overlay. I'm like, this kind of don't look like the Sonic rings I remember, but all right.
They look like really fat, oh shit, what is that? SpaghettiOs. Really
that was actually what I thought too. I don't know. I made them. I tried to like upscale them and all that, and I'm like, I don't know. They just look. You know what? I should have just left them as the blocky Sega Genesis style rings. They couldn't even circle it correctly, so those were the Sonic rings. But anyway, let me ask you this:
fantastic fucking nicknames. Fits their play style. It's original.
Because those other nicknames they're not even nicknames. They're just initials, right?
How many fucking times do you get two running backs and you got a fast guy and you got a guy who's more powerful and they call him Thunder and Lightning? It's Thunder and Lightning. Fuck, shut up.
Shut your ass up.
Let's get original. Sonic. Let's talk about Sonic. Dynasty RB1.
Well, let me ask you this. We'll start with Gibbs. I mean, I think you and I have both come around, quite a bit on Monty. But listen, let's do things right. We'll start with Gibbs. Mike, for me, it's one. It was in the offseason. I think early on in the year, I felt like I was pivoting away from the one and kind of more like, he might even sneak into tier 2. Not that I was cool on him. Just the weird part was Brees and Bijan weren't doing shit. It was just at that point, it's like, let me just get the old guys. Saquon, right? Derrick Henry. The one thing about Gibbs, though, man, I feel like, knock on wood, this guy can stay healthy. I'm watching Alvin Kamara, and I do believe it's a long way before Gibbs becomes uncool like Kamara. But I feel like that type of a lifespan and aging clock for him is going to be the case where I don't want to value the position outside of 1 or 2 years, but if I was going to do it, Gibbs is that dude for me. Like, okay, I can have this guy for a long time. You know what I mean?
I like the Alvin Kamara comp, too. Like, this feels like a game that's going to age with grace.
Yeah.
And it's going to be far into his career, and they're like, man, still doing it. Yep. Still catching passes. Still slicing them up the middle.
Still got it.
Still got that burst.
Nobody said shit in Big Meat, Big Drink. I was like, OBJ still has it. I was talking about the fact that he did a celebration in the end zone, but he ain't done shit on the field. Anyway.
You tried to kill Tyreek with that celebration. It's fucking horrendous.
Well, what's crazy is Tyreek says, I don't want to even go down that path this early, but Tyreek's talking about he's got still a problem since being, subdued on the ground. Why are you doing that celebration after you're not healthy? That's crazy to me. That really was. You're not wrong.
That shit. I think he's RB1 or 2 in Dynasty, and I don't see much of an argument for anything outside of those two. Bijan has been on an absolute tear ever since I tried to show Theo. Every time I put him on the fucking sell list, every time I talk bad about him on any show, Bijan just keeps going. I mean, he has now passed Jahmyr Gibbs in WARP. For those of you who do care about it, which you should.
If you don't know, WARP, now you know, baby.
But yeah, he's passed him. Not like significantly. He's not gaping him, but as far as the generic league, the 2.0 WARP club, Bijan has made that list. Top 5 overall. So He's damn fucking good. Like, he is on a tear right now. There's still some issues. I fucking hate Tyler Algier. And, apparently the people were with me when we talked about it the last time. They're like, yeah, I get you, Mike. Sometimes I wish ill will on Tyler Algier too.
Like, but you say a lot of crazy shit, but that one, I'm with you on. They're like, yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah, I can get behind that one. Mike hit that one on the head.
Yeah, that's hilarious, though. That's crazy, man.
Fuck that guy. So there's still some concerns about it, but he's balling out of his fucking mind right now, as far as fantasy points go. So
for sure,
if you want to have him one, who am I to say otherwise? But I think there's a conversation. But those are the only 2 guys really that should be in that conversation. I know you and I talked earlier in the season with the Would You Rather, and you had Saquon, right, for his production, and he's still producing.
I had him as RB1. Mike, I got him in the RB1 tier, but I will say at this point, Gibbs and Bijan have, in the production department, changed things to where I think they belong absolutely in the tier, and they should probably be ahead of Quads. Just 1 for 1 even.
Yeah. No, he is spectacular, and between the 2, here I go again with another little slight to Bijan, and people will probably get mad at me for it and argue it, but it's fine. If you had to pick a game that was going to age gracefully and you really wanted to project out, I would say I'm more on Jahmyr Gibbs' side as far as your Alvin Kamara.
Oh, okay. Then Bijan, yeah. Well, I think the reason Bijan, I do believe, is going to, as much as we like to hate Tyler Algier, he's still getting a nice dose, my friend. Like I think actually the weird part about Tyler Algier is his snap share has gone down to probably what's reasonable, but they find a way to make the timing of it just brutal. Like,
just piss you off.
Hey, you can have his 20% or his 30%. Just listen, we're inside the 20s. Stop it. Like, just stop it.
Please don't run 3 straight dives for no gain. Please don't do that.
I would love to be a fly on the wall and understand are they trying to get this guy some confidence? What's going on? Okay, because I'm with you. I'm curious what the chat says. How right side sitting on a booster seat? Love y'all.
I think they're saying you ought to. No, it's just because you're a tall motherfucker. All right.
Now listen, I have no problems. I actually personally find it weird when I don't get made fun of enough, so just make fun of me. It's okay.
I'm going to take this motherfucking camera and move it down, just what do they call that?
It's there you go. You're on the ball today.
But like a real thick black one, not a red one. Red ones are real thin. They get stuck in your teeth. Black ones, not so much.
Loaded.
I'm just saying, I'm speaking truth.
No, I mean, I'm just giving my, reaction, the true reaction of me. So it's interesting you talk about this, Mike. The reason I'm saying it's interesting is because, listen, this dude, unpopularly, is aging very, very well and gracefully.
Yes.
I don't want to call him old, but, it's the difference with Sonic and Knuckles, if we're going to do that, right? Mike, the thing for me is that, how do you put this even? Okay, with Monty, I think he was remember he won those, he won People Championships, honest to God, in Chicago that year. And I think people were the schedule was weak. Like, man, if you got that, if you got that little championship, man. No, we're calling it little. We're trying to downplay, like it's a bubble title. Just enjoy it, but get rid of his ass. Ship his ass the fuck out of here. Guess what happened? He kept balling in Chicago. Guess what happened?
Kept going.
All right, Detroit. He's basically Jamal Williams. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like let's dunk all. I mean, we're out here trying to Vince Carter this guy on the daily basis, Mike. He has forced the Lions to give him, while Gibbs is still there, a contract. He is a player that is, because the offense is so good and because he is so efficient, he has a role that, I'll just be honest with you, if you talk about outside of Montgomery, that role that he has really is not one you would want in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Monty, that dude, though. So
that dude.
Fuck all the... with him, it's almost like forget all the analysis, honest to God. Like, just, we've seen enough of him. He gets touches in the red zone. He's playing out of his mind. This offense is just a good thing. So there's not really much for me to say other than that. If you got something to add other than negativity, but bring that too. But whatever you got,
No, I think he's reached a pretty good point. Like he's a very good RB2 and kind of valued as such in Dynasty, and I think that's about perfect for him.
Sure.
You want to make like some arguments, him over Jacobs. Like that'd probably be my biggest one that stood out. Like I would take Monty over Jacobs.
We won't stop dunking on Jacobs, but yeah, I'm with you.
I won't stop on that one. That's one that I've been consistent. Every now and then he does something, and then he goes back to not doing anything, and it's always a good time.
I feel like he might make us eat our words in the playoffs because the playoff schedule's not bad. But I'll tell you, Mike, I'm still riding with you. We're riding strong on this wave. Like, let's keep dunking.
Monty's always really nice because you just plug him in, and you're like, I'm probably getting at least 12 points out of you. Like, I'm probably getting them 12 points.
Can I tell you what's great? You know what, man, you brought up a point I meant to and totally forgot to. Mike, the thing is, not just, I talked about how the role is something we really would not want outside of Montgomery. That type of role, why would we hate it? It's like, dude, there's no safe floor with a guy that gets mostly carries and is going to get 40% of snaps or some shit, right? Like, what? But that player has a safe floor. That's the crazy part about Montgomery. That's insane.
Yeah. I think one of the craziest things is just looking at generic 4-point pass and touchdown warp. He's a top 30 player.
Oh, yeah.
And he's only RB16 in warp, total warp for the season.
Only.
There's 16 motherfucking running backs in the top 30.
Do you know why? Because I was on AG, and I'll give you the same question I gave him. Mike, I don't want to spoil it, but I will because we're basically AG. Okay. Name me the running backs that died so far.
That died?
This year, yeah. Like, give me the good soldiers list, right?
Good soldiers. It remains to be seen how the rest of the year goes out, but Christian McCaffrey would come to mind.
What? He's back. So you got to take him off the list. He started on it, but we got to take him off the current list. I'm talking today, right? Man. Well, you know what? I'll give you that one. He was resuscitated. He did technically die, but they brought him back to life. All right, McCaffrey.
Travis Etienne.
Does he count? But yeah,
I don't know.
No, I mean, listen, I'll give you everyone you can find because the list is very incredibly.
Jerome Ford.
Raheem Mostert. I mean, okay, sure. You give me the crusties.
Mayor White.
He was. I got bad news for. That was a zombie. That motherfucker was dead. That guy was dead, Mike. Dead upon arrival. Ship it back.
Yeah. Not very many though. It's tough to find.
None. Mike, the answer is 0 outside of McCaffrey's start, to your point. Because, like, Etienne could, if you wanted to give one, it would be Etienne. But even Etienne's playing, like, I'm saying, no. Do you know how incredibly rare it is at this point in the year all the running backs are healthy? That's insane.
Then you got Isaiah Pacheco coming back soon.
Pacheco actually it's a good pull. That would have been the one. Because Kareem Hunt got back and took his job. Okay, there you go. All right, I like that. You know what? You just pulled that Pacheco, and he might come back. I
was trying to think of where the value was right before the season started.
Pacheco was high. I was higher on him too. I got burnt there.
Jonathan Brooks and Trey Benson were up there,
but we knew Brooks was going to miss time, right?
Yeah, and we knew Benson loves to run in the back of his blockers. Though this last week he looked good.
To your point, they're not giving him the opportunity to read. It's just here, hit the hole. Like let's dumb it down for this guy. Well, anyway,
and most of the other running backs who died, outside of some of the ones I listed, but I'll give you a big long list of
receivers.
People thought they were going to be something, and
they're with you.
The best that never was, like the Jaleel McLaughlin's, Jalen Warren's, you remember the Kendre Miller? Like, sorry, Eric, I don't mean to dig old wounds again.
My pops likes to tell me all the time, I'm a has-been that never was. That's what all those guys were. They're has-beens that never were. Like
yes, sir.
No, I mean, I've never though. Like the one thing I was thinking about it, I do kind of like it. I've never actually seen or heard people go out and give themselves nicknames. They normally come to you from people saying this or that, right? And then you get the Doug Martins who hate theirs, and then it's just like, nah, you can't get out of this though, right? I've never seen two people come collectively to give themselves a duo nickname, at least that I can remember or recall. I'm not saying it's never happened, but that I can recall, and bring it to the media. Like, here, I give you something to go run with,
Present this to you. Go for it.
I feel like that's kind of cool, just because two guys like this, you could see them being competitive with each other maybe even in a healthy way, but more so we're not going to have a nickname. I'm not having a nickname with you. Like, Mike, I'll split the backfield with you because I have to, but I don't want a nickname with you, I feel like that is actually a good thing for these guys. They seem to really jive with each other,
Yeah. Monty, man, just kind of like you were talking about, kind of against the odds, because Jahmyr Gibbs is so fucking good, so explosive, and you're like, wow, like you just look so good. Monty is out there just quietly just does his thing, and I'm not the biggest fan of fucking Collinsworth and the deep throating he does of Patrick Mahomes, even when Patrick Mahomes doesn't fucking play football, but kind of touched on it a little bit, man. I mean, he's kind of like the heartbeat of this offense. In reality, I know Amon-Ra has his moments too, and Campbell really speaks glowingly of him. But when shit comes down to it, man, sometimes Monty's out there as the running back, setting a fucking tone. Like the old Marshawn Lynch play. Run through a motherfucker's face.
Yep,
he does that, and it gets everybody going. Even when Jared Goff's out there looking like ass and throwing 5 picks, it's like, all right, here comes the Monty. He'll run through somebody's fucking face, and then boom, all of a sudden we're getting a little bit of life back on this offense. And the once dead Detroit Lions with Jared Goff looking like a mid motherfucking quarterback, which he's always been his entire life. Sorry, I kind of went on to it. Monty comes back and kind of saves him, right? And then Gibbs gets kind of going and feeds off that energy, and then Amon-Ra gets involved, and it's like, I really think this guy kind of just sets the whole tone for this whole fucking offense. So you see in the games where they kind of end up struggling and it's a little bit tougher, it's like maybe you should have got Monty just a little bit more involved. I'm not saying you got to go out and really start limiting Gibbs' touches, but maybe don't drop plays for Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Make those just go we're just going to do our thing with Monty, Gibbs, and Amon-Ra and Sammy Ballgame.
No, I mean, they have.
Stop trying to get too cute.
No, they. I think the reality though is, Mike, they have just. I'm curious to see how Campbell does, how this works. One, I'm still concerned about Goff as far as the big picture, getting them all the way to winning something, the title. Dude, the fact that they found a way to win that game when Goff has 5 picks, bro. I just want you to think about that too. That's actually where it started. I was going to do a Detroit Lions one, and I'm like, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and get in my bag. I'll do the Sonic and Knuckles thing, but they weren't supposed to win. That's a game they're not supposed to win. They fucking won, dude. That's kind of it's hard to even talk about. It's insane.
The wild part was watching the Texans and C.J. Stroud on the other side. And they got their own Monty, which they just use exclusively, right? It's what Monty could be if Jahmyr Gibbs didn't exist, and Joe Mixon.
Right.
The heartbeat of their offense.
Right.
And yet they still draw up a lot of stuff for C.J. Stroud to kind of go out there and create. And watching him and Jared Goff on Sunday Night Football, Adam, to me was find the difference between these two quarterbacks. Corporate needs you to find the difference. And I was like, They kind of look like the same thing right now, don't they?
Aren't they? Same picture? Yeah.
One's a little sexier because he's younger. We like what he did as a rookie, but this year has kind of been, without Nico Collins there, this doesn't look that great. This looks pretty shitty. Maybe you should just give the ball to 28 all the time. Just figure out a way to get Joe Mixon involved. So Joe Mixon is another one, which is kind of crazy when you talk dynasty value, how Mixon's at RB12 and Monty's at 15, and really, I think if you wanted to put those guys back to back, you could do it pretty easily.
I'll give Mixon the nod because
Josh
of
Jacobs. Get Josh Jacobs out of there. Get Pacheco out of there. It's Kareem Hunt's team now.
I'm kind of curious. I'm really curious to see how the splits go. I don't think Kareem Hunt should or will go away, but you never know.
I want to be excited about Pacheco coming back because you and I both kind of liked him coming in the season too. But the broken leg's kind of a big fucking deal. Like he's
got the
same season. He's coming back from that shit. That's
the injury's a problem. And one of the reasons I really was excited for Pacheco was looking at his kind of splits last year in the second half, and we start in the offseason kind of micro dissecting things, if you will. And I'm like, man, McKinnon's gone. This could be the Pacheco show where Mahomes is just going to, if he gets the passing work, Mahomes is going to let this guy feast. So you're telling, to me, I think Kareem Hunt at least is going to be part of I don't think they're going to give him like the Jerick McKinnon role, so to speak, but like he's going to be at least used enough to be a nuisance to that upside, not to mention his injury. So like to me, it went from like, man, rock. I'm out here speaking of those Sonic rings, buddy. I was rock hard, man, ready to go. I'm pretty flaccid now. I'm kind of just limp on it, man. Real limp on this thing, limping right along, all right, well, let's get speaking of limping right along, let's go ahead and get Monty off the screen here, and the sounder is up and running. All right,
Corey, though, with the super chat, yes, Savage members tomorrow night, J-Day, the Eagles. I'm getting tore up. All right,
Mike,
Savage voice chat's gonna be wild.
I wish, I really do. I wish we had like someone. I wish we were you always wish you're a step ahead of where you were, but like be like, hey, I need you to go pull from all the AMAs. I'll go and kind of the progress where I was. What was it, like week 2 or 3? I was like, hey, Mike, here's the problem with your theory here is all these days sound like you just get tore up and everybody sees them all as the same. I'm like, I'm watching you, going to get tore up tonight. He's like, I'm going to get tore up tomorrow. Fuck it, we get tore up every day, baby. Let's go. Every day is Eagles Day. We're getting torn up.
I take Mondays off usually.
Do you?
Take Mondays off. Yeah.
What if the Eagles are playing?
No, still take it off. I take one for the team. Yep. Okay. Take one for the team.
That's not one for the team. That's one for the body, right? That's one for the knee.
Usually I take Tuesdays off too. I'll take Tuesdays off. But last night I was feeling frisky. All right, so me and Maddie recorded 4D last night, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I grabbed the Garrison brothers off the shelf back here, right there. Boom. I just had a couple glasses. Let it flow. By the way, Adam, supposedly Friday, I'm supposed to have pancake and bacon whiskey will be delivered. Let's fucking roll.
Finally.
Fizzle Friday is about to be crazy.
Well, it always is, but yeah, you give this guy some breakfast at the evening and it's got some sauce in it. Yeah, we're gonna have a.
Did you check out that short? Did you check out Fizzle Friday?
Did I check out the short? First of all, of course I checked it out. Second of all, I watched it on the studio. I've been looking like, all right, this one is one I want to see how we. I don't even care if it does well or not. I want to see like what the retention is and how this kind of just goes. It was funny.
I saw some dickhead commented cringe, and I was like, that wasn't one of the words. That wasn't one of the words on white trivia. Shut the fuck up, loser. I gotta ask you though, since you've seen it, how many out of 10 did you get? The white people. How many?
Well, I know you didn't check into the cookout the cook-up and the cookout.
No, because I have a fucking job. I work.
It's okay. Oh, all right. Sorry, I forgot. What was I saying though? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Oh, how many did I get right? Yeah. No, I said I told Fizzle, I'm like, listen, buddy, I'll be honest with you. You probably got one more than I would have. So,
damn.
Congrats. Yeah, I mean, It was funny as hell. Like I'm sure you got that. I don't know, where did you get that actually? I don't know. I know I can get an idea from where you got it, but I'm like, I would not have gotten any of those. Now I do. When you said them, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could hear someone, coming out of the John taking a piss saying that. I could hear somebody, saying let's skedaddle. I could hear them all, but I'm not. They're not in the forefront of my mind. Let me guess this. You know what I mean?
This is all the more proof that Barry White voice that you got, that deep baritone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's confused whether or not you're a brother or not.
I'm certainly. I lean at least, right? It's like I got the.
You definitely lean.
Yeah, when it's doesn't go straight out. Hey. It's got a little bit of a lean to it,
Shout out to your pops. He's got some splaining to do, I think. Just a little bit.
We were talking about this with Alan Soslowski. I told my parents after we got absolutely drugged when I was a young kid, 4th grade, by the Shooting Stars. They pressed us. They did unspeakable things to what I was used to at that time. They had their way with us, and it's me, my mom, and my dad riding home, and I'm in the back. I'm just pissed off, right? Young kid, don't know what to make of it, and I come out kind of out of nowhere, like, couldn't at least one of you been black? Just random as hell is all. Nope, they weren't. They were not. They destroyed us. Shooting Stars, which turned into it's now King James Shooting Stars. They
King James.
I mean, obviously LeBron wasn't on that team, but that was like the team he played for, and now everybody plays for it. They destroyed us. They were good. Anyway, yeah. Did you make that, or where did you find that game? I'm curious.
No, I made it up. Originally, it was off of TikTok.
You made it up? Oh wow! Yeah. Damn.
I thought you
answers. Found that somewhere. Okay.
No. In the ope and the yellow and
the yellow would have been one I could have gotten. I don't think I would have guessed that, but that was one you certainly could guess.
So let's rock and roll. Like, those are shit that's come out of my mouth too.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I've absolutely said a lot of those things, but when you ask me a question like that point blank, I'm not like, this is the one. This is like the one answer. I could see like a lot of different answers.
The good news is a lot of them were open ended. Multiple answers would have sufficed. A lot of them would have sufficed. And then the let's see you next, or I'll see you next year thing on fucking New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's God, that one pisses me off.
Check this out.
It pisses me off. I hate it.
Thomas Richards has seen it.
He's seen it.
Okay.
Got that donger.
Got that.
I mean, you need bigger rings.
That's good. That's skedaddle,
Yeah, Corey's the GOAT at that game, though. He was like Steph Curry from the line.
Was he?
Automatic. Yeah.
Really?
Easy 9 out of 10.
I could. Yeah. You know what? I could see you guys being just like in unison on that, where it's like just mind meld. Me and you have a lot of mind melds, but like that one, just I guess for me, I could have given you so many different answers, and it wouldn't have been a terrible answer, but it probably wasn't like the correct answer. It was just like, I guess they could say that. Sure, that sounds white, but is it actually white? I don't know. I think I may be white.
I love Jay too when he goes like, I think I may be white. Yeah, which is great because if anybody knows Jay, especially in the Savage chat in the Discord, Jay is always good with the puns and he's
got a way with words. Let's call it that.
The best way I can describe them is they're white man jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jay is on point with them. He's on point with them so good that if you didn't know what Jay looked like, you'd be like.
What's really funny too is
it's like Jay Jackson, used car salesman at fucking CarMax, like 5'11", skinny white dude. That's what you picture in your head.
You had to give him. You had to give him 5'11" too. Couldn't even give. That's amazing.
No,
that's
I had to give him 5'11", and I had to give him a profession and a company to work at. CarMax.
Okay, I don't know if you caught this in the big meat big drink chat. He when you and Maddie revived 4D, he put in there about how Maddie's like, the Adam sounded white today or something to that effect, talking about. I'm just like, Jay would notice that first thing. That'd be the only thing he says, because I want to meet Jay in person. He was supposed to come to the expo 2 years ago. Jay, this is a shout out. Love you. Get your ass to Canton. We gotta link up, man. I want to meet Jay in person because all these puns, I feel like in person they might hit even a touch different. Like this dude just is like that,
I get that vodka in me. He'd probably make me piss myself. Like, it'd be the first time at the expo that I'll actually pee my own pants.
Okay. Hey, tell her I said happy birthday. My birthday is actually today. First of all, shout out to Eric Vanek. It's his birthday today as well.
Oh, and Big E's got a birthday today.
Yeah,
I'll have to text him.
Mine is Saturday.
Sleep.
Yeah, he probably is sleeping. But he has the early shift at Giant Eagle. You know.
Fuck him. I'm still texting him anyways.
Well, I mean, I wasn't telling you not to text him. I'm telling you, wake his ass up.
I'll do that shit right now.
There you go.
I'll send that fucking message right now.
Fuck you, Eric. Jay gets it, by the way. Okay. Let's see here. What was I was gonna say something about someone you were talking about. Damn it. We go in so many different directions in the first, what do we got, 15 minutes here? 35 minutes into AMA today right now, buddy. This is, the time flies when you're having fun thing is so fucking real. 30?
Yes, sir.
That's impossible. That's impossible. Anyway.
You got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, Saturday.
I mean, I only wished you a happy birthday like a week ago, but, I was in the ballpark.
Listen, when someone wishes you a happy birthday, I'm not of the mindset of like telling them, nah, I'm not taking a happy birthday. So you said it, and I was like, appreciate it, man. Told you I'm going next week to the game. I didn't correct you until it wasn't my birthday that day. And then next thing you know, the great part was like, I got a wave of happy birthdays after that. I'm like, all right, maybe I should have told them, because it was like, everyone thought it was my birthday. I'm like, I'm not going to, but I'm not telling someone you can't tell me happy birthday. I'm not going to do it. Sure. I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know who started that in the Discord. They were completely wrong.
For sure.
And Eric is not asleep. He responded. So we're good.
Okay. So noted. Take and see what Mike puts on his sheet this week, and maybe bet the Oppo. We're on a cold one. We're on a cold streak right now, my friend.
It's kind of like the cheese dicks lock of the week. Thanks, by the way, Joey, for the Lions.
When you sent that into
minus 3.5.
When I knew that you've been starting to really, when I say dabble, you have a lot of me in you in the points where it's like, I don't really just kind of dip my toe into anything. I pause. Well, that you do too of that. I know that. I'm gaping you in the shit league every time I get. We're all up in that thing. But I give you a butt too. Damn, what was I saying? You have thrown me off completely of my mind, like where it was going 5 times now. What was I saying? Oh my gosh, I don't remember what I was saying at all. Pause. Damn it. I got nothing. Oh, cheese sticks. There, Corey saved me. Cheese sticks. When you put that in there, I'm like, I know this guy's gambling now. And so as soon as you're like me in the fact that when you start, you're not dabbling. I know you're throwing like a bunch of bets out there and leaning into it like I would if I just started gambling again. And I'm like, this motherfucker, he had the cheese sticks go wrong, and I could feel the anger and the tension in that fucking that text. I was in tears, brother. I was in tears looking at that shit like, cheese sticks got you, buddy. How much did you have on that thing?
I'm throwing it like I'm fucking back in Canton, Ohio, early August.
That's another pause. Mike throwing that thing.
Throwing it. No, I put 20 down. I believed in him.
All right.
Might as well just lit a $20 bill on fire.
I thought it was going to be more like a 100, but still, I mean, $20 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
It worked out all right because I had a different parlay on Sunday that hit, and it was a promotion. So the other day I got a $75 Best Buy gift card in the mail. That was pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
You can take it back. You take it back in the OG days, like when if you watch. Shout out to a funny ass movie that just doesn't. It's not gonna age well. 40O version. That at that point, like back when we were in high school, right? There's like all those stores. Everyone thought that was like the wave of the future, and no, and that brick and mortar thing is kind of in the past. It's kind of fun though to sneak into a Best Buy. Like it's almost nostalgic, seeing all that stuff in person and people.
I didn't sneak into one. I just fucking ordered online, put the gift card number in.
I thought you might go with the gift card. You might take it in person, go dabble, see like I don't know what I want here. Let me go see in person. Do you know what? You live out in this. How far is a Best Buy from you? Let me ask you that.
No, 10 minutes. There's one here.
Okay.
There's one in town.
Color me wrong. I thought it would have been a little further.
Yeah. Funny story about the Best Buy here. When I was in college.
Okay. Speaking of college, all right.
I bought a brand new TV, 32-inch, LCD, the wave of the future.
Yeah,
cost $1,500.
Yeah, you thought you were big balling, right? Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man! Now you get them for like $10.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was $1,500. I dropped that student loan money. You know what I'm saying? You take that extra out.
Yeah, nah. I don't
get that nice TV for your daughter.
I don't mean.
So
to
here's a great thing.
Okay.
Bought the TV.
Yep.
Pull the car up. Boop, pull the car up in front. Go to load the TV up.
No.
Lock my keys in the motherfucking car. Thankfully, I had a janky sunroof on there, which was just plexiglass and fucking duct tape.
You didn't.
Pop that open.
You got your big ass on the top of the car. Oh goodness.
I wasn't that big then.
Well, I mean,
you
say you make fun of yourself to an extreme degree, so no one else can. I get it, but you ain't back then or now. It's not like you weren't some small. You're not like some small guy. You're still got your big ass up there. Like that's a getting up on the top of a vehical like that's a fucking pain in the ass.
Athletic, 4-pack ass up there.
Got them thunder calves.
I had the long hair too. You wouldn't know now because I'm balding like a motherfucker. But I had that long hair where the bangs came down and like did that little twist out.
What's
blonde?
I seen somehow I saw an old picture of you with one. I'm like, damn, that was not what I thought the old me nutted you looked like. I had to be careful. That's shaggy.
Yeah, back in the day, man. I look at you wrong, you get pregnant. Bet.
Nah, I'm just let that marinate, Justin Cloutier. If you're contending, let that marinate on your ass.
Now I look at you wrong, you vomit.
Well,
contrast.
I don't know that I agree with the latter part. I still think it's the prior, because I think that's why you wear the shades. You're saving people from getting pregnant out here. I think that's what them shades are about.
True. But yeah, I locked my goddamn fucking keys in a running car. Put a $1,500 32-inch fucking LCD.
I thought you were getting ready to tell me that you like didn't close the trunk and like you drove off and it cracked, broken. That would have been.
Shout out to Katie Horsfield. She used to work at Best Buy. Freshman with us. Oh, Katie, I miss you. Miss you. Sure you don't watch the show, but if you did, I forgot about you, girl.
Hey, yo, how we go from if it slid out the fucking trunk and broke to Katie Horsfield? I'll tell you one thing, when you got big knockers, Horsfield's a tough nickname to get through that thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's tough. Shout out to Katie, though. I'm with DB.
Shout out Katie, DB.
Listen, man, yeah, straight up. Like, she might watch the show. I think she might. You think she forgot about you? She remembers them eyes, She remembers them eyes. Even though you got them covered up so she can't remember you now when she turns on.
Yeah. We used to study,
Did you?
Yeah.
That's how you got that scholarship, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
She was always down.
This dude, man. I don't. Okay.
Sometimes right in that Best Buy uniform too. The blue with the khakis.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's kind of
Hooters ain't got shit on that.
Well, what's crazy is like in that uniform, it's just not really like they didn't draw that up for Katie Horsfield. But Katie Horsfield, if you can thrive in that type of attire, that means like,
oh yeah,
you really got it like that,
They drew that up for fucking Steve from Stereos.
Steve Carell.
Fuck you, Steve.
Steve Carell in fucking 40-year-old version. Got that.
All right.
What I was gonna say though, it's actually like on the question that was up a while back. It feels like it wasn't that long ago though. Also, I don't mean to big dick you, but I remember doing the same thing. I got a 40-inch though. It's like $2,000. He's like, "What the fuck did I just? How?"
Exactly. Terrible buy.
It was a Best Buy, in my opinion, at the time. It was just
at the time, it looked good, didn't it?
It was like if you bought, it was like back when I sent like 3 firsts for Kyle Pitts. He's going to be the tight end of the future. I'm locking the position down for forever. If contending, would you trade Mike Evans, a 26 first and a 26 second, for CD Lamb in a 10-team Superflex Start 11 league?
I love it, just the motherfucker's just like Mevins. Mevins.
You mold them, you just kind of mush it together. It's just mushed it.
Whew. Evans, 26 first and second for CD, 10-team.
But it's contending, though. Would you?
Yeah. For CD?
My problem my problem is contending. Like, okay, like CD is. I talked about this on AG this week. The problem with CD is he's like the one star that feels like a non-contending purchase right now. Like, is it if it's Cooper Rush or fucking what's his name, Trey Lance? If I'll ever forget his name, he's like my Katie Horsfield.
We reached that point with fucking what's his name? Oh.
It's tough, ain't it? It's a tough look. Speaking of, you know how many first I sent for Trey Lance in deals? Oh, buddy. You thought that 40-inch TV was a bad buy. Oof.
I mean, listen, they threw for what, 53 yards?
Yes, they did.
CeeDee Lamb is one misjudged window placement away from 15 fantasy points on the week.
How much higher does he get than 15 ever, though? Let's say 15 is the ceiling. I'll give you that. I'll give you 15 as a ceiling. Yeah.
I don't want to sound like cocky or whatever, but are they going to play the Eagles defense every single week?
Doesn't matter.
Like Quinyon.
Let's pretend. Let's live in this pretend world that the Eagles defense, not that it was not a good defense, is the problem with Cooper Rush in this. It doesn't matter.
No, I don't know.
The reason I say that, I get it, but on the contending side, Evans in CD right now, rest of the season, who would you put your chips on? You're a big gambler now. Who would you put your 20 on this time to finish with more points rest of the season? Let's say starting next week when Evans is back.
I'll probably still go CD even with the shitty situation, just because of this. Like you said, we're waiting for Evans to get back. And obviously that was a pretty terrible hamstring injury. And that's one of the injuries that you see pop up and get re-aggravated all the time. So,
and
it's a dude who struggled with hamstring injuries in the past. So
he always, the thing about Evans, I'm with you. And I am concerned about soft tissues in general for older players like him. It's very suboptimal. He also has played with some of these fucking hamstrings and been like, he don't look 100% right, but it's like, damn, the guy still gets it done. Like, I would bet on Evans if this week doesn't count, right, with him on the bye. I would bet on Evans. I think it's probably a reality of it could go either way. I think I would lean Evans, but the point I'm saying is that if I'm contending right now. In a 10-team league, I get it. You want to stack up these great players. CD's probably impossible to buy outside of a window like this. But what if, Mike, you make this purchase, you send in your first and second for the future, and you end up CD's purchase is why you didn't win. Because, Mike, what you could also do with that 26 first and second that's not thrown into this is get something better to stack with Evans. Give yourself the same. I don't want to be playing that. I've done too much of that in the past, Mike, where I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too, right? Like, I want to have CD for the long haul, even though he's probably not the best option right now. And guess what you end up doing? Finishing third, finishing second, like, and guess what happens next year? All right, you got CD, cool. You got the best player.
Yeah.
But are you going to win now? Like, that's my biggest problem with acquiring CD right now in Dynasty if I'm truly, with the first part of this question, contending.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong either. Like, it's a scary thing to buy. Like, I'd much rather buy like a Jefferson, Amon-Ra.
If this is Amon-Ra or Jefferson, I'm like, okay, send it.
AJ Brown maybe.
Yeah.
Would you buy AJ Brown for that?
It feels expensive because of his age, but yes, I would do that still. Yes.
I get it. It's, I don't know. I get too enthralled sometimes by the name CeeDee Lamb too. Like, I still believe even with fucking Cooper Rush or Trey Lance.
After you watch that offense have how many passing yards you just told me? You believe?
But it's the Eagles.
Man.
It's the Eagles.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, which side of the bed do Mike wake up on? Because it was like last show I did with you. I think it was literally last show. You're like, hey, CD I drafted him as one-on-one. He's pissing me off. Now he's like, I want him. I want him in all my leagues. Give me CD.
I mean, he had a tough matchup. He won against Quinyon Mitchell. That's
I would say this. I would do this trade in a 10-team league because of the way that the format exists. If I could not flip this same package for an Amon-Ra or somebody that might give me the same contending type of chance to win. I mean, because in 10 teams, the opportunities to buy a CeeDee Lamb are just impossible. So I acknowledge that. I just, especially if it's your own first and second too. That's another point.
I think the most logical point, to bring it back to earth, Adam, is does Mike Evans score, or does CeeDee Lamb score more points than Mike Evans that's also worth a first and a second difference? Like, because if I had to bet between the two, I'm betting on CeeDee, but is it worth a first and a second between the two? And I think that's probably the logical point.
It is if Evans gets hurt again, then maybe. But it's impossible if he plays. Like, no.
Right.
He's not giving you a first and second worth more of production. I get the future purchase, though. And he's just that dude. I mean, okay. What kind of... one thing I do love about when we get on these tangents and craziness going on, right? The questions don't come in because we're just out here vibing, talking crazy. And they're just like, no, why would I interrupt these two goofballs? Let me just listen to these goofs talk. And I go to pull questions. I'm like, all right, we got 30. See, look, let me see. I'll give you my POV right now. 32-inch screen, right? Cord. All the hair went to that. This is me looking for questions right now, Mike. Like, all right, Sonic and Knuckles.
I love it though.
I'm not mad. I'm just like, all right, let me pull up another question. Let's really get this going. And I'm like
a fast chat. It's awesome.
Here's a question. It's a great question. Can I win? It might be one of my favorite AMA questions we got. It was the whole team laid out all the details and can I win?
2005, 2006 with Katie Horsfield, bro, you were winning. Lock.
Times have
That's
changed.
better than a cheesesteak lock of the week.
Times have changed, huh? 2005 and 6 feels like long.
Ago,
yeah.
That's back when Chingy still had a career.
Yeah, Holiday Inn was fresh, right? You had everyone was waiting for his next big song to drop every time he dropped an album. Like, all right, this one's gonna have one of them heaters. This one's gonna be the one Chingy gets it back together. While they were sitting there at Best Buy buying the actual album in store, and they had their cargos on, right? They had their Abercrombie and Fitch, like, bruh, the Hollister days.
Is it really telling of me that I still have cargos?
Next question.
Like, you've seen me wear them too, like in public.
Let me try to save you here. The hammies are a fickle thing. Yeah, dog. I was going through at my parents' house. They had like just old stuff down in the basement they wanted to clean out. And I went through a garbage bag and I just left it in there of my old clothes. It was like the big baggy cargo shorts. My long ass legs. So they are huge, absolutely ridiculously massive. Mm-hmm. No, I just left them in that garbage bag. Took them right out to the curb. Or these are for you. Basically, it's basically Goodwill. If you'd like to have them, please take them. But if you want to rock them, I don't blame you. They did have. It was nice to have that utility in your side. Like, I got whatever I want right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
simpler times.
What do I do now? Like, I got a lot of gym shorts. What do you do for other shorts?
Cargos come and go. Matty Gomes says.
Depends one person.
Bitches, they come and go.
Monday through Sunday.
Yo.
Oh shit! I gotta find something else.
I would probably pivot. Yeah, like they had a good ride. I'm sure you got plenty of miles out of them. Like, it's just
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of stains on some of those.
Just because the lock is 2 and 4 doesn't mean the other 15 bets I make don't hit.
The lock is pretty shitty, man.
You know what? He's got a point though, Mike. It's like, all right, let's pretend. Let's try to like flip this into your world where. You come out here on content. If someone just made one bet of the calls you made and you just kept hitting your misses, nah, man, you got to bet the whole card. You got to, because Michael lets you know, Jaden Daniels, all his misses. He's got plenty of winners, but you're like, I'm only going to bet the one. Bet the whole card.
Jay Jackson had a very early super chat with an actual question on it.
Well, he did.
Mike,
you know what? It's fair. And I definitely acknowledged it. I put the money sounder up. We just kind of talked past it. Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, we talked right through it.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the cargo days. Let's go back in time.
Yeah, there you go. Nico for Gibbs, straight up.
What are you doing here? I think it's if we were doing redoing startups right now, I think they're going very similar ranges. So I think let's just start by saying I think it's a correct value question.
All right. So there's no injury concerns right now, knock on wood, for Jahmyr Gibbs. Nico, hamstring, pretty serious, been out for a while.
Yep.
Texans offense, not the greatest. But Nico, when he was part of that offense, was balling out of his fucking mind. So here's the one thing that makes it really tough for me. If I look at WARP per game, there's only 2 players in the entire league right now beating Nico Collins in WARP per game.
Yep. D. Henry?
Joe Mixon and Derrick Henry.
Yep. I was gonna guess them both too. Damn it, I was on it.
Love it, man. Jamar Chase is pretty fucking close, but that is really good category.
After a 55-point game, hell yeah, he's fucking close.
Yeah, I mean that's really good category to be in. I would say the real tough thing too is it's not like, let's say Breece Hall was doing what Jahmyr Gibbs does right now, or some other running back kind of in that range where we don't know the long-term outlook of them guys as much as like you and I kind of feel good about Gibbs.
Okay.
I'd say it'd be easy. Just take the fucking wide receiver and move on with your life. Because it's Gibbs and you and I just talk glowingly about, he could be Alvin Kamara for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how likely it is because running back injuries do happen and they suck.
Sure.
Even though this year it's been the wide receivers getting their ass tore up, not the running backs.
As soon as the entire market pivoted, you knew something like this would happen, right?
Buddy, this might be a first here on AMA. I flip a fucking coin.
There you go.
I flip a coin and just roll with fate.
I will say, man, I was all that hemming and hawing. I was waiting for you to finally dunk on Nico. Like, listen, let me get the running back. I was waiting for that McNutt. The correct answer is, I think it's pick your poison. Like, if I'm gonna answer this as a unbiased, I think here's the truth for me. The reason I will answer Nico Collins, and I got the Gibbs graphic up that I wish I know no one actually probably cares. I wish if people understood the amount of time I put into that, it was way too much time. Put all that time into it just to say, nah, give me Nico. Because this is the reality for me. You talked about it with Kamara, and I believe that's the case for Gibbs. And I think the way he plays just lends itself to less overall touches because of the way they're probably going to use him in Detroit, especially with Monty there now, and his pass catching prowess. So I like it. That said, you know what the market thinks of Alvin Kamara right now, buddy? Oh, buddy, doesn't matter how good he is. They fucking hate him. They hate him. The market is just still not friendly to the running back position, and I feel like Nico Collins has overcome every objection he was given, largely by Mike or myself, probably, right? Like we're giving him every reason not to be him. He is. He comes back from this hamstring injury. I still believe he's going to be a WARP upper tier player. The market on those players is ridiculous. It's Nico Collins because of what he gives me in flexibility. That's the reason I will go that way. I think production-wise and just overall, which one you want to go with, pick your poison. But the reason I will take Nico Collins is because, although I'm not a part of the crew anymore, 4D chess, man, I'm looking to make my next move. I'm looking to make my next move, and I think Nico probably gives me more opportunities to make better moves or just overall moves than does the Gibbs.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair, man. I won't fight you on it. We won't get one of those big AMA fights over this one.
I was trying.
It's fucking tough. Yeah, like you made really good points on it. I defaulted to fuck it, shake the magic 8 ball.
I mean, because the truth is though, it's not you're not wrong. I mean, the reason I'm leaning that way is because I think I'll be able to maneuver it better. But if you're not gonna trade the asset, I think that's
if you were. Well, let's just say right now you're in first place. Right?
Okay. Yep.
Right. It's not like foregone conclusion you got the number 1 seed, but it's looking good. And you're looking over the next couple of weeks trying to lock that up. I'll shout out to Coop and all the work he did on grinding the edge about how important having the bye is. Right. You're looking to lock that up over the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
With Nico just now coming back from the injury and the way Gibbs has been playing, would that sway you at all if you were a contender? Like which one you'd prefer?
Maybe I promise I heard and listened to every word you said. I'm what do you mean? Like because Nico's coming back and gonna be healthy, and now the concerns are away, or is it? I don't think I'm necessarily...
because you maybe you still have a few more concerns about like immediate production right out the gate coming off this injury, like getting the rust knocked off, and
if Diggs was still around, I might. If Diggs was still around, I might have more of that. Like,
fuck it,
Yeah, like I just let me
ease him into it.
Yeah, Tank Dell was absolutely buried. The offense is kind of garbage, and he still is like, all right, like he's alive to a degree again, right? So I think Nico is just, whenever he comes back, he'll be solid. Kind of, I don't want to call him CMC, but like CMC was on Achilles tendonitis in both freaking Achilles, Mike. 88% snaps. Like, nah, we're good. Nico's gonna be just fine. He's still gonna be him when he comes back. So no. I think the other thing too is like with a player like Nico, I think we talked about that CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans trade earlier. The reason you make that CeeDee Lamb trade, if you do it, is like the opportunities to buy a CeeDee Lamb don't come around. Nico Collins realistically is probably not much different than CeeDee Lamb. He just doesn't have that draft capital always view that CD will have. That's really the only thing separating those two type of players. So Nico, I think, gives you the opportunity because he's so good and so highly regarded. I think there's going to be more opportunities for me to, even in the next, before the deadline in my league, even if I had one, to flip him for something crazy. Even if you had the concern, like, dude, that's I guess the reason why I lean that way. But I'm not going to tell you that if you go get Gibbs, you're doing it wrong. Like, dude's a stud. I will admit, though, the one thing, Jay, and anybody that's facing a question similar like that, make sure you check out warp.life first, because, Mike, if I'm looking at the warp line in that specific league, let's say, and the running back line is much greater than what would a normal league look like, I'm flippity-flopping heavily to that Sonic Rings side quickly, So make sure we do our due diligence and check that out first,
Ding! Sonic Rings. Love it. There you go, Jay. Hope you got your $9.99 worth.
Definitely.
The envy of everyone who wishes they had your job, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, listen, Jay's one of the OGs, man. He's been showing love and support from day one, and just waiting for my chance to get some of these punny jokes in person, man.
Yeah, Adam's not wrong though. I mean, he's been an OG for a while, and we have yet to see him in person.
What if we got catfished by Jay this whole time? Like, damn,
it's
Jay.
Not actually Jay. Just
it's
Maddie
like
Key Woman on an alt account.
Yeah, what if it was like, one of our like buddies just fucking with us? Like, 'cause Jay's like so. He's like, I feel like he knows us, or we know him so well. If I hadn't done a team review with him, and I know that Jay's real, I'd be like, damn, I wonder is he playing us? Is he playing us?
That motherfucker is not real.
That's not bad. How are we on Marv non-playoff first in Wait, hold on. I'll be honest with you, buddy. I'm talking about sleep. I'm gonna let you read it. I'm gonna let you read it.
I got you. I'm drunk enough. How are we on Marv, was first off.
I needed the comma. Yeah,
non-playoff first in Marv or Jefferson,
There we go.
Like, how high would you say that, that's too much for JJ, 103 and Marv?
Nah,
Question mark.
I got it now. Okay.
I got you, Trent.
The Trent, thank you. I apologize because I normally don't put any punctuation in my shit either. I'm just out here sleepy, can't reach it. No. Non-playoff first in Marv or Jefferson? Mike, let me ask you, where are you at on Marv right now?
Fine. I'm completely fine on Marv.
I am too.
He's done enough that I'm not going to panic.
Are you going to make this move, though?
Nope. I would rather have the non-playoff first in Marv. So by non-playoff, he's meaning that's a top 6 pick.
Yeah, he said
one thing I do know
103
about
right
this.
There.
One thing I do know about 2025, top 5 or 6 picks going to be pretty decent, and people are going to be very interested.
Yeah.
And Marv is Marv.
Yeah, I mean, the non-playoff locked-in part of it definitely makes it tough. Trenton, here's what I would say personally. Like, I'm always big on context. So including, not actually, just kidding, punctuation. But the context here would be, like, let's say this is a lineup, start 9, start 8. I probably still wouldn't do it, but like, okay, all right, I get it. You want to go make this up tier. It's probably too expensive. It's probably too much, but I could be more understanding of like, all right, you're just going to pay the King's ransom, what you got to do to go get Jefferson, fine. You get to a lineup start 10 probably, definitely 11. Nah, there's no fucking chance in the world. Because here's the thing about that 103 pick. Like, I really believe this. It's right about right now where the 103 pick is about a week or 2, maybe 3, depending on your league, away from turning into liquid gold, buddy. Like, what you're going to be able to do with this pick in about early December at the latest, and the teams which have no choice but to admit defeat, they're going to come with a fiend. Like, they are addicted, Mike, for that 103, 104 pick. And you don't even necessarily have to wait until the draft. Like, you might be able to go ahead and flip that right before the deadline for now. All of a sudden, you're looking at Marv and A.J. Brown. Would you trade Marv and A.J. Brown for Jefferson? I pray to God you wouldn't, right? Like, that's the type of thing I think here you have to weigh out, is a format where Jefferson's probably unattainable pretty much, like a start 9. It's still probably expensive, but I maybe get it. Anything not that, though, it's not even close, man. I'm 1 to 2 for 1, and it's not even close at all.
I mean, for the total season, Jefferson is beating Marv by 0.1 warp per game, which is actually pretty significant. Pretty significant. Difference between wide receiver 3 in warp and 26, give or take. Marv's a rookie, and here's one thing that at least it kind of depends on what splits you want to look at, but if you go Marv's 2 out of the last 3 games, top 15 wide receiver.
Yeah, pretty good.
Like, on the upward trajectory, and then if I look at Jefferson and I go, well, what's his recent ones look?
I'm looking right now.
Jefferson was 21, 19, 21, and then this last week when we saw Sam Darnold really turn back into a fucking pumpkin, 9.8. Wide receiver 32. So take it for what it was. You could be like, well, Jefferson did okay. Maybe Sam Darnold just had a really bad day, and it was a really bad day versus a really bad defense, which really scares the shit out of a lot of people, including me. We've seen this Sam Darnold version before, and I would think, my pulse on how the Vikings and Sam Darnold are doing depends on what Thor puts on Twitter. Shout out to Thor, man. Love that guy.
Yeah.
And Thor's in like full on like fucking panic mode. Like, man, fuck this guy. I can't wait till JJ McCarthy comes back. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Sam Darnold's cooked.
It reminds me of simpler times when I was listening back in the offseason, like him and Debro just, you talk about cock rings and sonic rings, but it was JJ McCarthy was it, for those guys. Like, they were humming on that. Anyway, I don't know which side he took on this, but
the
he does say start
first.
9.
The non-playoff first
is
too much.
Tough.
I'm good. Non-playoff first. I'm gonna keep Marv in the first, especially when you start talking like 103. Jesus, no, Marv in the 103 all day long. If you don't know Trenton, listen. He may wear chains. He may wear sunglasses. The backwards hat, all that, but what he doesn't have is the crown of the true essence of what started this content. If you want to, I don't even know what you call it. Whatever. Tear Down King is the name. Okay, so Tear Down King is not gonna send his 103 and Marv for the likes of Jefferson. If you went back and listened to 22 Days, the OG 4D podcast, oh my gosh, we would have absolutely buffooned any person talking about this type of an idea, So yeah, we've become more cultured since then, but there's still no.
We also, at that point, we were really leaning into let's play in best ball leagues with start 12, Mike. Right? That was like the ideal. He's talking about a lineup start 9, so there's enough difference there. I get it. Okay, Stroh says, "Nah, listen, Jay, I love you, but I want a part of this. I want a part of this action. What's up, fellas? Skipping the line, Mike. That was sweet back then. I don't know if I told you this. We were at Universal. my buddy Aaron, his dad's a LASIK eye surgeon. So we're kids down in playing Florida in nationals, and the lines at Universal are like 45 minutes to 2 hours for a ride, right? Man, he got us on with this. We had like people that walked us around. It was like the fast pass, but you had personal assistance. That's what a super chat's like, Mike. You just come. We used to go right through the exit. They take us through the exit, jump. The person waiting to get on the ride, nah, man. I'm gonna need this one. I want this specific lane. That's what the super chat's like. I just skipped all these people with questions. What's up, fellas? How's y'all teams doing? My teams are doing pretty good. How about yours, Mike?
I'm gonna actually have to use the lab on this one to like see how they are. Like I got some that are pretty good, but I need a count. Like, I got fucking 60 leagues, man. That's a lot to keep track of.
I've been looking and keeping. I will say overall, I have some teams that have not given me what I wanted, but for the most part, I'm probably like 80% where I was expecting to be or better. So I feel good about it now. It's definitely, though, to answer your question, Stro, they're doing well, but this is about money-making season right now. Making the right moves, getting the turds off your roster, making the trades for draft picks and that. I'm kind of ad-libbing while Mike looks on the lab right now. You want me to keep reading the question?
No. 21 teams right now that are, 4 seed or better, which I say pretty good.
That's really good.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that are the 5 seed, 1 that's the 6 seed. Everything else kind of anticipated not being good. So,
okay.
Kind of the same thing where it's so fucking weird that this, and listen, I have this thing in my head, and Adam and I have talked about it on a podcast before. I'm sure I've told you people about this. I have this thing where there's about a third of my portfolio is always going to be like super contenders.
Yeah.
Ones I'm pushing in for. Okay. There's going to be another third that this is at the beginning of the season. There's going to be another third that I'm coming out of a rebuild where I'm like, I don't have high expectations, but like this team's pretty decent. We'll kind of see how the year plays out.
Yeah, you might get pleasantly surprised, but you're still not expecting to contend yet. Yep.
Exactly. And then there's a third where I'm like, this team needs to rebuild, or I'm in a nuclear rebuild already.
If it's not there,
trash.
It needs to be shifted.
It needs to get there.
It needs a road. Yes. It needs a pathway to go the wrong way.
And for that 33% that's super competing, there's always like 4 or 5 teams where you're like, fuck, man, like, God, I got hit with this injury and this injury, and you're disappointed. Like it becomes a failed contender, and I like to minimize those. But for every one of those I have, there's one of those in the middle 33% that it's like, damn, like Tyrone Tracy's been fucking balling for me, and running back was my worst spot. This is all right. Like, we're doing okay. So, like, those ones come up. So, It always seems like we get to playoff time, and I always end up with about 33% of my portfolio in a pretty good position to win money. There's another 33% that either just missed the playoffs or maybe snuck in as the 5 or 6 seed, and then there's 33% that are, 11th, 12th. Or 13th and 14th in my 14-team leagues that are like, this team was cooked from the get-go. So
these guys right down here, buddy, right? Shitty turds, man, right here.
Shitty turds. All in all, taking a snapshot just on the lab with them, I'm right in that mix, man. I got 60 leagues, and 20 of them are, top 4 seeds to various degrees. There's quite a few 1 seeds in there, and there's quite a few 2 seeds that are like, I'm getting a bye. Getting a bye.
Yeah.
The barometer of my success really this year, and shout out to DB if he's still in here, Barry's Triple Crown, man. That's a league that I've been definitely trying to win, and god damn is it fucking tough, because every single week, because it's 3 separate leagues. Like what's good for me in one league fucking kills me in another league. I'm like,
sure.
man, fuck Ty DeClaire. Good. He lost Dak Prescott. Then I look at like the second league and I'm like, motherfucker, I got Dak Prescott. Fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's kind of funny this time of year, especially like, and you're probably in like at least 2, if not 2.5 or 3 times the leagues I'm in now at this point. So it even with me at like 20 plus, it's the Mondays become more and more unbearable where it's like, all right, I know in this league or a couple leagues I'm really focused on, I'm like, I got A-Chain, and somehow I got, shout out to the A-Warp tight end life, I got Jonnu Smith going, right? So I'm like, all right, like we're good. I'm getting myself mentally prepped for those guys to do well, just to see how in 3 other leagues motherfucker, I can't have A-Chain do too good because then they're going to beat me here. It's like, that's one of the frustrating parts about being in too many leagues is like, how do you root? You kind of have to just take your lumps. Like what ends up being the case is what ends up being the case. I think at this point for you and I, it would be tough to mess it up at this point of the season. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I promise I'm going to get to your question, Stro. But you asked us the question first. It wasn't actually a question based on punctuation, but we're answering the question. Because this isn't the reality. Like, we should be in third or fourth or driving teams to the bottom or having teams that are, pleasantly surprising us. The reality is the next 4 to 6 weeks, who stays healthy, what moves we make, what we do to secure our place for a bye or strengthening our team to go win a title, and what we end up winning overall is kind of, I think, going to really determine how we feel about it at the end of the day. He's in 25. He's got 25 of his 39 teams competing. So to answer
That's a good number.
Yeah, his viewpoint based on what we just talked about, the other 14 just soaked in 25 picks. Feels like a good spot to be in. It's title chasing season. Appreciate you guys. Damn. He didn't even ask it. I was getting ready to answer a question. I hadn't even
flexing.
It's fine.
No question.
I'm never going to be mad about it.
It's a good spot to be. Here's the other weird, I don't know if you do this or not, or if anybody else does out there too. What I love about like using the lab or, whatever, dynasty management platform you choose to use. I love knowing my player shares, right? Like that's another barometer of success. Like were my predictions, were my takes right? So when I go and I look at my player shares and I'm like, number 1 owned player, Jaden Daniels. Chalk that one up for a dub. Like, I'll take that one. And then you start to go down and, a lot of these guys are, I'm not going to say like irrelevant. These were just dart throws that you kind of liked, so you kind of skip over those because you haven't taken any landmines yet. Then I get down to like Tyrone Tracy. I own Tyrone Tracy in 27.3% of my portfolio. Like, fuck yeah, that was a good one. I nailed that one. Bo Nix, 23.6%. And it's like, okay, you start to feel good, and then you get down to the ones that start to disappoint you, and you're like, damn, I had 24% exposure to Deshaun Watson. Man, fuck that guy. Like, as long as you can minimize the shitty Deshaun Watsons, and you can have like 2 or 3, like, oh, I was actually right about that guy. That also is kind of a barometer of success, especially if you play in a portfolio because you have exposure to them in multiple leagues and you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. Mm-hmm. So not only is it, the total count of teams that are going to make the playoffs or be in a contending position, but also how'd you do on your player takes? You and I like to be player agnostic as much as possible, but we can acknowledge we still have player takes for sure. We definitely do.
Have to. You can't be human without having player takes. Like, you can be player agnostic and all that, but to a degree, you have to have your rooting interest, man. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah. So to look at the player takes that actually fucking hit, you're like, fuck yeah, man. Everybody called me stupid when I'm taking, Jaden Daniels 101 in these rookie drafts. Who's laughing now, bitches? Me. I'm laughing.
Yeah, I will say it was a nice one to hit. I have plenty of hits, but listen, I asked you to judge me off of my losers because I have so many. Rich Mike gets back his job surprisingly. People thought his career was over. Who would have funked?
Wow!
We
didn't even touch on that. Can we take the victory lap? Fuck y'all for who. This Joe Flacco bullshit. Just by the way, I want to give a hearty fuck you to. He helps him win. He makes the offense better. Fuck off. It was a terrible decision, and I'm fucking glad. Here's the crazy thing. I said this, Adam, by the way, too. I said this tongue in cheek for like fucking 3 weeks now because I was so angry about the Bryce Young benching for shitty ass Andy Dalton. Damn, and then I was absolutely fucking furious about the Anthony Richardson benching for fucking old crusty Joe Flacco. Even though last year Joe Flacco won me $2,500 on Comeback Player of the Year. Shout out Xbox for posting the odds and Savage Chat and me jumping on that. I was still furious about it. So I've said this tongue in cheek now for 3 weeks because I've been hurt. I've been mad.
Yeah, I've been hurt.
You know when I say like, man, Caleb Williams ain't playing well, maybe they should bench him for Tyson Bagent? That's actually a fucking story right now. Like I see Schefter out.
I was gonna say, Mike, I don't know. Mike, I'll tell you this, all right? That Morgan Freeman voice, I've been, especially getting my laptop back, having some old assets that I didn't get to use right. I got some. There might be something coming for you later in the year because you like to test. You cannot stay away from testing the fantasy gods, buddy. You have to do it. You wouldn't be you without, like, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? In the face of adversity, when I'm out here talking quarterbacks, I'm going to keep talking J-Day while they're benching rookies. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in the ether. Hey, Bagent, D2 guy, let's put him in for Caleb. Fuck yeah. Why? Like, if it was to happen, I promise we have the ability. We the one thing we underestimate about ourselves is our ability to fuck shit up, man. Like, we have a way of doing it. Why'd you have to do that? If I see Tyson Bagent go in, Mike, I promise you, I'm coming to Iowa. We're fighting. We're gonna have everyone crying about us not being, tough enough and fighting with each other again, not calling each other idiots. I'm not gonna do it here. I'm coming to Iowa. I'm fighting you. If that happens, I'm coming to damn Iowa. Fair. We're going bear fight, man. Damn it. Tyson Bagent, stop it.
We had to scrap the YouTube banner because once upon a time we cursed every motherfucker.
We killed them all. We killed them all. Everybody. Other than, what was it, Smitty?
Yeah, Adam's got to be selective about his jersey purchases because every time he buys a fucking jersey, he kills that player. So,
you know what I did this year? I bought, let me get 10. I'm going to get 10 and see, is this thing real? I can't be that bad, right?
All right, let me try it. Let's see if it's real. Like, I try to make Barry put this to the test because Barry says every time he trades for a player, they get hurt or suck.
I'll tell you, Mike, of the 10, I haven't killed them all because that's pretty much impossible, but it's A-Rich was a jersey.
I'm going to try it for the good of the people, all right?
For the good of the people.
The 49ers should really bench Brock Purdy for Joshua Dobbs. Let's see if it's real.
Boy, I'll tell you this, too. You have a way of remaining true, buddy. One of my best friends, Joe, he's just a very, he's similar to you in the fact that if you love him, but if you hate him, you're like, God, I don't want, give me away from Joe. He tests you.
I had a Brock Purdy moment this week, too. No. Can I be honest about you?
Yes, you can. Well, first, you should always be honest. Don't ever lie up here,
Our good friend, Derek Brown, D-Bro.
Okay. I was worried you were going to say keep trade cut or some shit, but yep.
No,
okay.
No. He put out this very nice tweet about Brock Purdy, like, when's he going to get the respect he deserves, that kind of thing. And I'm sitting there at him, and I had this whole fucking message typed out. Like, I read this fucking thing at work, and I was like, I'm not.
Someone needs to run Mike's X account. He's liable to fuck some shit up.
I'm not going to do it. So I just put that one in the drafts. Like, nah, we're good. No, I'm not going to do that.
I know you're an Android guy, but Mike, they have this, the new Apple thing it's called Apple Intelligence, right? So, like, they have all these commercials going around on YouTube TV. The only time I see commercials is if I'm watching football, right? You seen them? Yep. It's like the friendly version. Yeah, Mike needs some Apple Intelligence when he's getting ready to fire off these emails, like ready to fire off a message to D-Bro, just going crazy. Like,
I was like, he doesn't want to hear my D-Bro or my Brock Purdy takes. Like, I'll say D-Bro. That's a good friend of ours. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do any Brock Purdy takes because he probably sent that one. And he was like, "Fuck, Mike's going to read this."
I mean, here's what I'll say. He is a good friend of ours. He dodged the hell out of us at the expo. I hope he's still a good friend of ours. I feel like I love the guy to death, but I'm like, where is the guy? Damn it! The last thing we needed was Mike being like, you know what? Fuck this. We're gonna separate right now.
We'll never get him at the expo.
Right. Mike's gonna go toe to toe with this guy. Just take him. No, that's good shit, man. I forget what I was saying. Honestly, and it's okay. It wasn't probably that important. Other than, you're like my buddy Joe that just he says, you know what? The one thing about me is you can't. I'm always an asshole. I'm consistently this way. Mike, you are that way too. You just listen. You know what you're going to get. So don't fucking act surprised, bitch. Like, this is me.
I don't change the game up. Same dude all the time. By the way,
you
just
crazy,
a personal
man.
note.
You crazy. Oh, here we go.
Look at the size of this motherfucker. All right, I've showed it before. All right, I had
why do we continue to call this AMA? We just go on ad lib season, like just talk we ramble.
We do. But they've been out of these motherfuckers for months, right? So I've been doing
that's as big as your skull. Sheesh.
It's huge. They've been out of these things for months. So
Pause.
because they're out of them, and then just randomly one day, last week or 2 weeks ago, I discovered that they had them back in. I ordered fucking 6 of these bitches. I was like, I ain't running out again. At least for a very long time. You think you could sell all these out in fucking Sweden or Denmark or wherever the fuck this is? I don't know if that's Danish. Anybody read that? Is that Danish or Swedish? You let me know.
I kind of caught it. If you know the language, you'll probably be able to tell them. I couldn't. I didn't get a chance to know. But
is it Swedish? Is that what they call the language? Yeah, I think so.
I think
Danish.
Swedish,
I know is right. You know, like the pastry.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say Danish. I'm very familiar with. Maybe not the language, but I love me a good Danish, buddy. Give me.
Love you a good Danish. You gonna finish that Danish?
My affinity for breakfast isn't high, but I will take a Danish any time of the day, buddy. Let me get that.
Hey man, shout out to one of the fucking salesmen that I work with at work. You know, from a company I buy shit from. This motherfucker the other day showed up. So the front office lady called me and she goes, "You have a delivery up here, like a package?" She's like, "No, it's breakfast." Breakfast? Who the fuck brought me breakfast? She goes, somebody dropped it off. You know, I think he was a salesman or whatever. So I go up there. It's fucking 3 Chick-fil-A burritos, breakfast burritos. And I was like,
hearty.
This motherfucker knows what's up.
This ain't breakfast. This is a meal, my boy. Yeah. You're air dapping him. He's not even there. You're like, yeah, let me get that. Oh, hell yeah.
You know, not supposed to accept bribes, but, you know, food's okay.
Yeah.
Joke's on them. Food is a bribe.
They do have laws kind of against those things, but listen, sales is sales, and people.
Hey man, you were in sales. You got the tricks of the trade. You ever drop anybody off a little, Chick-fil-A breakfast in the morning to say what's up?
I will tell you, Mike, if that was what it took, and whatever, if there was a way in which I could help somebody out, like, hell, fucking yeah, breakfast? Are you kidding, buddy? That was the least of the. I'm gonna find out in conversation with you before you buy from me. Part of the reason I'm such like a trader, right? You talk about you just want to go into the DMs. You as a psychological trader, you don't care. You just let's take the clothes off. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Like
let's fuck.
You want to turn the lights on or off? I don't care. Clothes are coming off. We're going. I like to find out about the person so that I can kind of maneuver around and see what I can get. Because in sales, I'm like, I want to find out about who I'm trying to sell to the point when they buy from me, it's going to become their idea. I didn't even sell them. It's their idea. I'm going to just, everything that I need to know about this person to make them buy from me, like, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. So hell yeah, breakfast, Cavs season tickets. You want to go? You're in Cleveland. Oh, here, and come check out the Cavs. Like, go stop by and see Bron and them when they were still here. They're actually really good again now. Speaking of which, how sweet is that, right? Like, how good are they now?
Yeah,
but yeah,
what, 12 in a row? Is it 12 or 13?
13 last I checked, but it's tough. It's tough for me trying to do as much as content as I'm doing and all that. Like, I tap in on the point of, like, I know and I watch the highlight. I can't ever, like, follow this time of year yet. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
glued to the TV because I'm just watching so much football.
Unfortunate for the NBA for most people, and I saw my friend John McGlynn say, like, you shouldn't have basketball on Christmas. Fuck you, John. That's the start of basketball for me. It's always been the start of basketball for me. That's like the unofficial
Christmas
opening
is,
day.
Yeah, because what happens at Christmas is, all right, I'm watching some football. Like, I'm going to watch basketball too, but I'm getting ready to win my titles, hopefully, right? That's the goal here around Christmas is I'm winning my fantasy titles, and I'm ready to pivot. It's time.
Ready to start NBA season.
I'm going to take this winning,
and I know,
I'm going to go parlay it.
From. John's a big fucking hockey guy, Good on you. Enjoy your fucking ice stick thing.
Mike, I thought you were going to... Isn't that Canada?
I don't know. He might be Canadian. He's from Chicago, which is kind of like Canada, but with Italian beef.
Hold on. We got a super chat here. Before I'm about to click it off the screen because there's all these other things I want to put up. I'm not going to do that to Devin. Devin, appreciate the super chat. Nico or Rice in a 25 mid first?
Give me Nico.
Yeah, I'm with you. Nico's, I think, healthy is not even a question, but we talked about Rice a little bit and how the injury for him. I think the reality of this trade, though, if you make it for the mid first, is trying to play the market side of Rashee Rice. That's the one thing we talked about with him, but his, I think he's overinflated still value-wise, personally. Rashee.
Definitely.
So,
most up-to-date keep trade cuts got him at wide receiver 17.
Rashee? Damn.
Yeah, it's still too high. Good for them, though.
Yeah, I want Nico here. Now it is a 12v12. Like, it's start 12 though. Like, that's one thing that makes me lean more on the 2-for-1. But one's playing, hopefully this week. One's not playing this season, and Nico's not just a player. He's a god tier warp guy, right?
I'll say this: people will disagree with me and get mad at me, but if I was to buy Rashee Rice at this point, I'm not paying anything more than a mid-second in 2025. So
that's why you won't be buying that price in,
yep, which means I won't be buying them. But if you put that price in, I'll say this: Nico or a mid-first and a mid-second.
Nico
at this is Nico, right?
Yeah,
like,
Nico's pretty much like you got to get to 2 first to be in the conversation. I think like if you wanted to take 2 first over Nico, I could understand that, but a first and a plus like a second, or even a first and 2 seconds, I don't think I would do that for Nico. In this format, start 12 maybe, but that's probably not what I'm doing. Hope that helps you. If you're able to get a guy like Nico for a Rice and a mid first, though, man, as long as it's not your own and you're really not a contender and like you end up. What I don't want to do is probably give up 103, Mike 104, where it's like, damn, I could end up having another really dope receiver and Rice for Nico. Other than that, I think this is a great move if you could do it.
I put a name to it, Luther Burden with top 10 draft capital. And Rashee Rice or Nico Collins.
Stop.
Piss you off.
That's a Chick-fil-A burrito and a half. Kyren for Kamara. Kyren for Evans and B-Rob or keep Kai. Okay, so Kyren for Kamara straight up. I want Kyren. What do you say?
Man.
Tough, though.
This is where my like confirmation bias comes in. Take lock, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Hate him.
Alvin Kamara has been better than Kyren Williams on the season as far as helping you win. So if you traded Kyren for Kamara straight up, wouldn't hate it. Especially with, Fizzle's favorite quarterback ever, Derek Carr, knows the assignment. Feed Alvin.
How long does he keep the job this year?
I think I'm taking Kamara here, right? Obviously, if you're doing this, like if you're even entertaining it, for Kamara, you're in a contender position. Now, there's not a lot of long-term stability with Kyren, but there's more than people probably perceive with Kyren Williams or with Alvin Kamara, which is why his keep trade cut rank is so low. So I'm going to go Kamara here, but I don't hate it, man, because the community really does love Kyren Williams RB6 on keep trade cut. So
yeah, I mean, well, and the community, myself, you should be included in this, regardless of whether I do like the way you're prefacing. Like, I know people are going to hate this. Like, you can save them the time. Me and you say a lot of things that are going to make people upset, but we're okay with it. Kyren, though, Mike, I think there was a lot going into this season to have some concern. Blake, who? I mean, brother, Kyren has. Aside from a contract, right? Like his warp is not what Kamara's is, because Kamara is in God territory when he's given the pass work where he just. I don't care if you like it or not. Checkdowns to him just fantasy greatness. Kyren, though, has been a guy that just is on the field all the time. He's been healthy. I think. There's some things to be concerned about with this offense moving forward. So if you're talking the future of Kyren, production-wise, I can understand if you're hesitant, but his market versus Kamara's, I think, is so different to where I'll make the play on the production being similar or close with these two, and knowing that I have this joker now of like dynasty value. If I find off of a good week I can trade Kyren for dynasty RB6, goodbye, buddy. Like I'm playing with house money. So that's why I would say Kyren. Kyren for Evans and B-Rob or keep Kai. Man, what do you think about that one though, Mike?
For me, if it's anything more than a start 8 or 9, start 10, start 11 league, I'm going to take Evans and B-Rob. I'll take both of them. When B-Rob plays this year, his WARP per game isn't that far off from Kyren Williams.
No, it's not.
Like when he's actually playing. Like he's actually pretty solid.
Yep.
And to all the points you made about Mike Evans earlier in the show, like at that rate, fuck it, man. Like Mike Evans is a pretty good flex for me. If he bounces back and becomes Mike Evans as the only real fucking receiver on that team with the way Baker's playing, yeah, I think I'll take the two. I'll take the two.
Yeah, I think. You know what's funny? I just realized. I think the last trade you and I made, you sent me freaking both Kyren and B-Rob. I should have tried to lowball you. You hate both the motherfuckers. It's so funny now though because B-Rob since that trade like is just not playing. I'm like, damn, come on, man, killing me here. He's off the injury report, so we'll see what his. We'll see moving forward. I think he was before this nagging injury. He was like really awesome though for fantasy. Actually, surprisingly good. If you can make this, so essentially, when I say if you can make this, I mean if your lineup is not going to be at a detriment because you take on Evans this week and don't have, like if you need Evans right now, if you need a player right now, 1 week. In Dynasty, I don't try to do too much with, but if you can afford to have Evans sit and be prepared for B-Rob not to quite have a full workload yet this week, the 2-for-1 here is pretty appealing, to be honest with you. Like it's
to the B-Rob.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Evans for the rest of the year. I know there's a lot of injury risk, Mike, but there's just Cade Otton's getting all these targets. Mike Evans could be nice if he can just stay healthy down the stretch, but I'm with you. I get it. I'll take the 2-for-1 in pretty much every format other than like start 9.
To the B-Rob thing, when I say like WARP per game, when he's actually been playing and he's hit those start thresholds in WARP, he's better in WARP per game than what Christian McCaffrey was in his first game back, which you and I both thought was like, damn, that was a pretty good game for Christian McCaffrey, all things considered. I think that was impressive. He's better than Rashad White or Bucky Irving or Najee Harris or Rico Dowdle, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby when people started him. Better in WARP per game. Like B-Rob's been fucking solid when he's played.
Sure has.
The problem has been the last couple of weeks where you're like, fuck, man. Like, I thought you were going to be back already. Nope. He's out this week. So, if he's back and he's playing in this offense, he has been really, really, really fucking solid. And I think I'll take the risk trading away Kyren for that. But
yeah,
the original one, I'm going to lean Kamara, but I get it if you want the Kyren thing. I understand there's a little bit of my bias baked into that one, but Kamara's been fucking dynamite with Derek Carr at the helm.
Yeah, I'll be honest with the coaching staff change and what the Saints projected future. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's not looking good in the future for them. We've known this credit card debt assembly was going to eventually pay off in a bad way. They might be like, all right, let's see what this Spencer Rattler kid doesn't have, and let's then draft one at 2 or 3 or whatever the hell. My concern with Kamara really only comes to your point. I think you made this point at least last week or this week was on recap. When Derek Carr is at the helm, he knows how to make Kamara in that upper warp quadrant. He goes away. I'm not saying Kamara's bad. He could become a lot more mid, and that's problematic because his value in Dynasty sucks. It's just his production's elite when he's elite.
He goes from upper echelon RB1 to mid range RB2 pretty fucking quick when Spencer Rattler's back there like, oh, I'm gonna run in fucking circles and then throw a pick. Thank you. Derek Carr's like, fuck it. Where's Alvin? There you go.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah. I think I would tell you this. I would do that Kamara thing potentially if you felt like, one, you feel like Carr's going to play the rest of the year, and two, you feel like that trade specifically is going to win you the league, because that type of thing, I'll forgo dynasty value for that. But outside of that, the dynasty value of Kyren just seems too high. Okay, let's do a couple questions, and we'll what'd you call it, Mike? How'd you say it? Skedaddle? We're going to skedaddle, right?
Skedaddle. Let's skedaddle.
Bam.
And then
Okay.
Coop trying to hit me in the fucking YouTube comments like, Mike, I can't believe you didn't know what skedaddle. Fuck you, Coop. Neither did you. You Googled it. Guaranteed.
Damn. I do like, I don't mind seeing y'all. I'll tell you one thing.
Empty.
All right. Coop, he doesn't mean it. He's empty. All right.
No, I meant it. You Googled it. Sandbagging son of a bitch. Leave me in the trenches taking grenades.
Hope you flip your bike over and knock your 2 front teeth out. Selfish son of a Coop. Should I look to move BTJ as a contender? He's in wide receiver. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Mike? I'm going to ask you a question right now.
All right.
Tank Dell in a second or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Fuck you, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not going to play into this.
Good. Because you go ahead. Let me get Tank in a second. I'll go win while you have your little dynasty future. The fuck out of here. You ain't. Get out of here. The fuck out. Brian Thomas. Oh, I've been waiting. It's just been so fucking stupidly high in dynasty, and people are just putting their nose in there. Oh, he's the best. Listen. Y'all been needed help. I've been told you. You've been Victor lapping around me like I'm just, like it's a circus. I'm a fucking animal, zoo animal, Mike. Give it to me. Tank in a second. All right? Now, that said, hell yeah, I've tried. The gig is up for the flippability. The reason it's up is because if you're trying to trade him to anyone other than a rebuilder, it's a wrap. People are out. People know this. He's in wide receiver hell if Mac is there the rest of the season. I love Brian Thomas, honestly. I feel like I don't love him as much as everybody else apparently did, though, so that makes me not love him as much. I want him long term, but this year, man, he's a warp difference maker still, like a top 15 wide receiver on the year. If you plug him in your lineup right now, you're like, shit, I got to upgrade this. Let me upgrade you. Let me go. What do you got, Mike? Come on. What do you got? Give it to me. Give it to me straight.
Brian Thomas Jr. going for 15 fantasy points. Mac's going to feed him.
Well, I'll tell you.
I got faith in you, McCorkle.
Yeah. Well, you keep telling yourself it's different than Dallas, and I'll keep telling you you're just fucking biased. That's okay.
I am. Let's go, Mac. You got this. You got this, buddy. Gritty on them hoes.
You know what's great, Mike? So in Your Idiot League Mates, I love that league name, and they've been dogging me. I'm the biggest idiot because I won't make these trades. It's a lineup league with start 9, and everybody wants, because have injuries, me to trade away Derrick Henry and all these gods. Like, no, I'm not taking this for your fucking 4-for-1. Like, but I'm an idiot for doing that, right? Anyway, I got a long-winded thing here for you, because what's interesting now is I didn't get Cooper Rush and Mac Jones last week. And my quarterbacks are Bryce Young and fucking they're a lot. They have a lot to be desired. Bryce and Levis, Mayo, right? Mayo game day be delicious. Man, Mac Jones and Cooper Rush, man, I fucked up, huh? Like, I should have spent all my fab on those guys. Get the fuck out of here with these two guys. Stop it. Mac Jones. Who?
Shit.
I
love it.
I don't know what you do, though, honestly. You have to find a rebuilder, right? You got to find a rebuilder, probably. And that's your play. If you can find a rebuilder, hell yeah, I think you should flip him as a contender, because his dynasty value is still going to be great. I can't imagine keep trade cuts dropping too much. I'm kind of curious now. Let's see what our good friends over at Keep Trade Cuts say. What do you think, Mike?
Good friends at Keep Trade Cuts.
What do you think they say over there?
I bet he's pretty close to the exact same as he was the week before.
I tell you, this Keep Trade Cut rankings are just, because I agree. How is it possible? He's freaking wide receiver 13, man.
Mm-hmm.
No. I take that back. He's still a wide receiver 12. He's a wide receiver 1 in Dynasty.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, Mike. Let's pretend. Would you move a wide receiver 1 in Dynasty that's unlikely to give you fucking high-end warp as a contender? Absolutely every single time. No questions asked.
It's because I believe in McCorkle. All right? Max got this. Minnesota. It's good defense. He's going to struggle. All right?
Okay. Let me ask you.
He gets some bitch ass Lions this week.
Damn.
Bitch ass Lions. Let's go, Mac. Shock the world.
Yo, have you seen this George Pickens rise and keep trade cut?
The George Pickens rise is pretty fucking incredible.
I will say I haven't done money moves in a while, but I think I might just be. It might just be time.
Where's that Jim Cramer sound?
Family wide receiver.
So. 13, bro.
There's no way. Speaking of squirrels, 13. He climbed up that tree in a fucking hurry, huh?
He's fast as shit. He might be even higher if the NFL didn't hate him and stop ruling
now
same foot twice as incompletion.
Let's admit a lot of we lost a lot of good soldiers on the receiver. Wide receiver 13 though, fam, is just.
This is a crazy thing, man. Rashee Rice, injured, knee injury, possibly facing suspension. Don't fucking drop it all. Everybody else, fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, wow.
You all drop.
Okay.
Every one of you. Jalen Waddle, fuck you. Dead. Brandon Ayuk, dead.
Brian Thomas, dead. Tankdale, dead. Brian Thomas, or, goodness, you look at this list. It is crazy how many wide receivers are dead or died. When you're just looking at this list, it's hilarious. Not in a good way. Zay Flowers in a second, or Brian Thomas?
Fuck you, man. Zay Flowers in the second.
Yeah, not close, right? Okay, because that one should be an easy dub. JSN in a second, or BTJ?
JSN in the second. God, I hate you.
T. Higgins in a second, or BTJ?
Fuck you. All right, T. Higgins in the second still.
Okay,
let's go with you, T. I need T and Mac to play together.
Debo in a second, or BTJ?
Man, I seen another shitty fucking Dynasty account say, you have to sell Debo Samuel right now. I'll take Debo in the second.
I'm trying to find the one. Terry McLaurin in a second, or...
Oh, fucking Terry McLaurin. F1, baby.
Cooper Kupp in a second, or BTJ?
Oh, Cooper Kupp in the second.
Mike, I'm just going down the list, buddy. This is the easiest sell and when I say the history of the sells, I'm not trying to exaggerate. I'm doing my best to give you guys a shot. I hate to be the one that told you so. I really do.
I'm trying to find a spot where I can fight you.
I know. Whoever was in the comments, I appreciate that, because I've been coming at Mike with some veracity, and he just that left just isn't coming today. We'll get it back, even if fucking I have to. And if it's Bajent, I'm coming to your house. Okay.
How about a buy for BTJ? Josh Downs in the second.
Fine, you can have it. All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you a
Yes.
Speaking of squirrels, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Good. That's fine. I'm not a Josh Downs guy relative to market. I think though.
How about that quitter DJ Moore in a second? Quitter.
Yeah.
Walked up the field.
Well, okay. Look, you love DJ Moore more than I did to start with, so don't act like this is me here. This is you trying to find any fucking. Don't try to put DJ Moore as my guy. You didn't like him. No, I'm not. I won't stand for that. Get the fuck out of here. I will take Brian Thomas there, but don't pin DJ Moore. I'm the DJ Moore. You have been DJ Moore standing for as long as I care to even know you. Okay, don't do this now. Remember when you were telling people on the show earlier? I'm gonna be honest with you. Where's that guy? Huh? I want that fucking guy back. How's that?
That guy ran out of vodka.
That's a good thing.
Empty.
Fast as fuck, boy. All right. Last question, super chat. Damn. I'll tell you one thing. Guys, if you want to try and recapture AMA greatness, where Mike had to take a piss and we just wouldn't let him, I'll be here for it.
Fuck you.
10 team, 2 quarterback, start 11, trade Garrett Wilson and a 26 Predator predicted late first.
That's what I was going to go with too.
I knew you were. That's why I'm going to beat him to it. A Predator late first for AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill. Tried for a second instead, but owner insists it has to be a first. Looking for a title run. Garrett Wilson in a first. Garrett Wilson in a late first for AJB and Hill.
I'm taking the Predator first and Garrett Wilson at this point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you want to draw a line in the sand? Good. Stay on your side. You're over there. Keep that sand over that way.
Buddy. Yep.
10 team. Okay, here's the thing. They're trying to. I'm not swallowing. Pause. I'm not swallowing the Tyreek Hill fucking pill right now. You know, I'm not doing that for some Predator. You know, I'm not doing it.
Not for a Predator. I'm for Predator. I'm gonna call all my fucking late first Predator first. Hop in the windowless.
Currently third, but has most points for. But Lamb and BTJ worry me a bit due to QB situation. So do you have Lamb and BTJ right now? Here's the thing, right? Those. What a great super chat and timing for us to just be ad-libbing, talking shit to each other when we're actually gotta. There you go. You got all. You see how many pivots we just gave you for BTJ that you can easily get done in a 10 team? Like, boom.
Yeah.
Done.
You don't even have to put your Predator first in, Fabian.
You can leave that Predator first for another day. No one even has to know that you're a Predator. You know, you're not on the radar. You're not yet. You know.
Get in the van, kid. I got candy.
Here's the squad. Okay, so right now, let's just. You got Amon-Ra, you got Flowers, you got Neighbors. I'm still probably starting every single week. So lineup start.
Baby over. Who gives a fuck?
Sure, yeah. Those guys are. You just drop them.
Here's the thing, man. That dude listed out Rice. The fuck you got Rice still on here for?
Yeah, Rice is way more movable than a Predator first.
Move that motherfucker. He's doing nothing for you.
Wait,
still has really good dive set.
It's man. I'll tell you one thing. My punctuation eyes are awful. It's like tied with running backs, and I can't see it. So
Rice RBs. He's got Rice RBs, so that means they all are like out for the season.
It's like a cereal, you know. I'm trade Rice for God's sakes. Hell yeah.
If I was honestly going to do this, right? Like Lamb, Amon-Ra, Flowers, Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., whatever. That's a good wide receiver core. Now, they do have issues that you can be questionable about. Motherfucker, Breece Hall's got issues. Rice is giving you nothing. Like, what's a Rice and Breece Hall package get you back in something that actually produces?
Yeah, well, I was thinking my thought process though. You're not wrong here. What I would rather do though, Fabian, is like, okay, can I find he's got LMAO? Can I find? I think it's a 10 team. You said right? Yeah, 10 team. So 10 team. There's less teams to go seeing. If you can find the correct rebuilder that has some pieces, what does a Predator first and Rice get you? Like here, I want both these gone.
Right.
And let me go ahead and keep Breece and hope that, although Rodgers is trying to kill everybody there, Wilson. That like I'm trying to hold on to these assets you got right now, if I can, and move Rice. Move the guys that are Rice in a first right now for you are the pieces I would love to go trade that for something real. And in a 10 team, they both have appeal, I think. So that's what I would try to do, man. Frankly.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, he's starting.
Your squad, right? And also you shouldn't be in any position of panic or worry. This team's fucking loaded. Like you're fine.
So he's starting Daniels and Kyler at quarterbacks. His two quarterbacks. Weekly. He's starting Hall and Kenneth Walker at running backs.
Correct.
He's starting Kelsey at tight end.
Yep.
All right, so there you're up to 5 starters. So now the other
you do have
6
start
are
11.
in question.
Yeah, right.
Right, so he's starting Garrett Wilson, which was the first part of his trade.
Yep.
Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Flowers, Neighbors. Which means that BTJ, whatever, is like the pivot man.
Your last flex.
You know what I mean?
BTJ is your pivot. Yeah, BTJ and Rice in your first, I feel like, are incredibly valuable pieces that are you could dangle for all kind of shit right now, bro.
Right. Yeah, like Rice, the first. That's what I'd be trying to move.
Mike, let me ask you this right now. The way I'm thinking now, maybe this isn't how your league is as far as the players and where they're sitting. I look at a roster like this. Although it is start 11 with 10 teams, Mike, I'm trying to go get a hammer. Can I send BTJ, Rice, and a Predator first?
Hammer.
Can I go get a fucking Chase with that?
Yeah, there you go.
Can I go get a dog? Like, that's what I'm trying to do here. You guys take my that seems like possible. I don't know if maybe the person that has Chase is just not moving them, right? That's the reality of sometimes these leagues. But I think in a perfect world, if I could move those three into big boy tier, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Do it.
Just don't go overpay for George Pickens or something. All right, don't do that.
Rice and the Predator first for the dude who was on the thumbnail, not the dude on the right, but the dude on the left. Get Sonic. Hit them rings,
buddy. I love where your head's at. I when I say I love it, I mean I can't even. I could kiss you right now. You know, just.
Ding.
It's a good way to finish off. Pause. Damn, I'm coming crazy. Like when I'm listening to myself back, like you're saying some ridiculous things right now.
I saw a great compilation of NFL announcers just saying those off colors things.
Oh yeah,
right?
Was it Aikman?
Way to really. Aikman was one of them, but Collinsworth had some too.
Did he? Okay. The Aikman one is just legendary. Yeah.
Just watch him as he stands in the pocket as the dude's coming in his face.
That was Aikman. I'm like, dang, that is crazy.
He's coming in his face.
And you got dudes coming in your face like that. It's hard to stand in the pocket and take it.
What a man. What a man. What a man. No, this was a good one. I got a little tore up, man. We're feeling good. Probably this Kelly Green jersey.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm ready for football tomorrow, buddy. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen for some of these teams that I have that are kind of like they're teetering. I'm hoping not all bad things. I feel like I've gotten kicked in the teeth enough. Let me get a couple good weeks here, and we're fucking like this guy, Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
We had a great Thursday night last week, and then the rest of the week was dog shit, to be completely honest. So
it really was.
Let's rebound. One, I hope Thursday night's good. Let's put a whole week together. You know what I mean? Like, you ever been there in the locker room where the coach is like, well, we won this game, but, let's put a string together. Let's put it all together. Let's play 4 quarters. All right?
Let's play
4 quarters.
Let's step on their throat. Let's bury him.
I never asked you to. Like, it was confusing to me. Right?
Okay.
So NBA's 4 quarters. I didn't play college basketball. Right?
2 halves.
Obviously, in Division I college basketball, it's 2 halves.
Still, it's the same. It's the same in all NCAA and NAIA are 2 halves.
2 halves. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. That was my question.
You know what's crazy is
level.
It's interesting it's like an unthought about thing when you go from also high schools basically 4 quarters everywhere you play as well. So all that to say, Mike, like when you play the D1 games, like when we would play App State and those guys, it's 2 halves, and every 4 minutes there's a media timeout. So like it's actually kind of insane. Like there's a lot of breaks. It's incredibly fast paced. The court's longer. You better be conditioned as hell, but it is nice having like it's after 6, so you're looking 20-minute half, right? So now it's 16 minutes or lower. You're like next dead ball, I get a nice little water break. Like that was always a nice thing in D1. Like those were free. Those weren't timeouts. Like that's crazy.
Media timeout. 7 minutes while we run 47 commercials.
It's amazing too. Is like you got a D2. I'm playing on a D2 school versus App State. What the fuck are they doing with all these media? Who's paying? Who's sponsoring any of this shit? There's no way. Like I'm thinking, what the hell?
Oh, fucking Jay Jackson at CarMax.
$9.99 every time, baby. I love you, Jay. We love you guys. We'll see you back here same time, same place next week. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.